Yo, kind of want to get into the little shit stint that happened at the Boston exhibition. Long story short, small event, wear kimono, and try to reproduce the pose in Monet's painting that featured his wife posing in a kimono. And then the fought Nazis showed up, trying to call this cultural appropriation because someone else that's not Japanese is wearing a kimono. Now, I'm still baffled by the level of stupidity that is. Why? Because clearly they should be scolding everyone in any kind of otaku conventions. But believe me, people in conventions would fight back really fucking hard. But the level of stupidity is just beyond baffling at this point. Because these are the type of people that wouldn't even have fought to do an exhibition like that. These are the type of people that wouldn't even have shown interest in an exhibition like that. Yet they're the same fuckers going to protest an exhibition which is not theirs, but because they feel it's cultural appropriation. Because they feel um, they can just tell themselves, okay, well, that's being fucking racist. That's wrong. Of course, they haven't even considered the subject before, thus, they wouldn't even have, I don't know, went all the way to Japan to get a Japanese person to do the specific exhibition in the specific country. You can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? Where these type of people don't realize how meaningless they are when it comes to those aspects. They wouldn't have done the mileage to perform an exhibition like that. Hell, they don't even have the credential to perform an exhibition like that. Yet, because of what they feel is cultural appropriation, when in fact it's respect for the culture, it's an introduction to many people. Who knows? Could have had a little girl there who could have got interested in kimonos. Could have been a guy as well. Fashion designers interested in kimonos, getting inspiration for another line. You don't seem to understand the ripples of, let's say, someone else's action when it comes to art. Yet you will just bluntly say it's cultural appropriation. You don't think. You just don't fucking think. I mean, another case, like, let's bring the logic to its full, this retarded logic to its full extent, where an American writer could write a book about his experience during a trip in Russia. And in his book, he's going to describe the city, he's going to describe the TV shows, he's going to describe the food, he's going to describe the location, and he's going to talk about the people and the customs. So, by that same fucking logic, his book would be cultural appropriation because he's talking about a culture and a country that he himself is not part of. I'm sorry, but that's fucking dumb. And that's fucking selfish. So, for these people, they would rather have nothing happening. They would rather this exhibition not happening unless it's made by someone from the original culture. And these people are too fucking lazy to seek out a person like that because they would, or maybe they have more sense because you can't just go on the street and say, "Hey, you're Japanese, come on, join this thing," because that can someone be seen as racist, right? So these people are so fucking selfish to go to this length and then having the gall to say to people, Oh, you should go to the original country to experience it. You should ask a person from origin there. Yeah, well, not everyone has the money to get to this country. Not everybody knows a Japanese person directly. And even then, you'd be fucking retarded just to say, hey, about your heritage, about your Japanese heritage, constantly like a little twat. No. So those fucking fought Nazis are showing another level of selfishness. And I'm after seeing those tweets, because that article is talking about some of these tweets, you really, really want to bring these guys to a shrink, to have a psychological evaluation for them, or just having a talk with them for them to understand how selfish their actions really are. Because they didn't have the gall to do the event. They didn't think about the event beforehand. Yet nobody should have it because they think it's cultural appropriation. Well, in fact, it's displaying another culture. It's a respect for another culture. Come and try it out. Oh, you don't like it? You don't want to? Then just ignore it. Don't fucking bring a hate mob into someone else's event because you're too stupid to realize what showing another culture is. And at this point, if you're going to go start attacking artists for that, comic book artists and such, then okay, let's go to the logical extent. If people in America, certain studios, weren't influenced by manga then and anime, then there would be Legend of Korra. There wouldn't be Avatar: The Last Airbender. There wouldn't be a couple of series like that. Even Powerpuff Girl has a couple of things inspired by anime. There wouldn't be any like that, right? Because that would be cultural appropriation. Don't use those techniques. Don't use that style. It's another culture. I'm sorry, but fuck you, fought police. I should say fought Nazis. You've went to a whole different level of stupid. Fucking selfish shit. I'm done. Later, guys.